So you want to be a White Mage. Final Fantasy XIV's White Mage is likely the first job that many new healers begin with. White Mage features straightforward and easy to learn abilities, but that doesn't mean it's too simple to be interesting. What makes White Mage extra beginner friendly is starting your journey as a level 1 conjurer. This gradual progression allows you to familiarize yourself with your abilities over time, unlike diving straight into the complexities of a Sage's level 70 loadout. Final Fantasy boasts legendary White Mages like Rosa from Final Fantasy IV and Aerith from Final Fantasy VII. Next up could be you. So throw on that comfy robe, select your finest staff, and let's embark on this adventure. Hey, it's Phil Meyer. Welcome future White Mages. In this video, my goal is to equip you with a solid grasp of White Mage's core mechanics and share practical tips that you can blend with your own experiences. I hope this will help you develop your unique style and excel in any combat party. Before you can become a White Mage, you must first master its base class, Conjurer. You'll start your journey down this path by accepting the quest series from Adele and Gridania. You can accept the starting quest if you began the game as a Conjurer or after completing the prerequisite level 10 quest for your starting class. Starting at level 1, you'll only have access to the Job Action Stone, Conjurer's most basic single target attack spell. Finish some quests or defeat some enemies beyond Gridania's gates until you reach level 2. At level 2, you'll learn your first healing spell, Cure. This straightforward single target spell restores a small amount of HP and will be your primary healing spell until level 30. At level 4, you'll learn the damage over time, or dot spell, Arrow. Arrow does a small amount of damage on impact and then continues to deal damage to your target until the spell expires or your target is defeated. Arrow is a spell you want to cast on enemies as you enter combat. Refresh it throughout the fight to keep dealing passive damage while you focus on healing or landing direct hits with stone. This strategy is especially effective in longer boss fights. At level 8, you will learn the healer role ability Repose, which can place a single target to sleep for a considerable duration. When an enemy is asleep, it cannot attack you, allowing you to better manage multiple enemies at a time. When a sleeping enemy is hit with an attack, it will wake up and resume attacking you. Repose is most helpful when adventuring solo or with a small party that you have good coordination with. It allows you to avoid taking damage too quickly, or gives you an opportunity to run away from a fight that you may not be ready for. Note that damage over time spells continue to damage an enemy while they are sleeping and will not wake them up. So if you were to cast Arrow on an enemy and then follow up with Repose, the enemy's health will continue to drop while they are sleeping. At level 10, you'll learn the Area of Effect, or AoE healing spell, Medica. Medica will restore the HP of you and nearby party members. The spell's effect radiates outward from your position, so you and your party members should stay within range of each other for the spell to be effective. We can see the range of Medica's effect from its tooltip card. If you're new to reading ability tooltip cards, there are 2 distance numbers shown. The first is the maximum distance the spell can be cast. In the case of Medica, that's 0 yalms, meaning the spell is cast at your own position. The second number is the radius of the spell's area of effect, so Medica affects any party members within 15 yalms of your position. Also at level 10, you will learn the healer role action Asuna. Asuna allows you to remove detrimental status effects from a friendly target. Asuna is very important and often misunderstood or overlooked by new healers. Detrimental effects are shown on the party list as an arrow pointing down. Only status effects with a blue line above them can be removed by Asuna. Stay diligent in battle, and when you see a party member with a curable debuff, try to remove it with Asuna when you can. At level 12, you will learn Raise, which will become one of your most important spells. With it, you will be able to bring an incapacitated friend back to life. On its own, Raise has a very long cast time, so be sure you are in a safe position before attempting to use it. Raise is best comboed with Swiftcast, and we'll talk more about that soon. At level 14, you will learn the healer role ability Lucid Dreaming. Lucid Dreaming is the self-buff that allows you to temporarily regenerate mana more quickly. It's important to always have a steady supply of mana to ensure your party stays healthy. Lucid Dreaming has a long recast time, so be sure to use it at the right moments. When in combat, I usually activate it when my mana is about 2/3 full, or maybe a little less depending on the fight's intensity. Outside of combat, it's ideal to let mana regenerate on its own. You'll get a feel for the most opportune times to use Lucid Dreaming with experience. Now, at level 15, you will be able to test what you've learned so far by queuing up for your first dungeon run in Sastasha with other players or with NPCs via duty support. If you're feeling any sort of healer anxiety, that's totally normal. Your priority in a dungeon is keeping yourself and your allies alive. Your tank should be focused on drawing in enemy attacks and taking most of the damage. Practice targeting your tank specifically and using Cure to keep their HP at a safe level. Make sure you keep pace with the party and use Medica for group heals as necessary. As the tank pulls in enemy attention, drop arrow on these targets so they continue to take damage while they are pursuing the party. Once the party stops for full combat, repeatedly hit a primary target with stone while keeping a constant eye on your party's HP. Heal them with cure and Medica as necessary. Now, new healers may feel they need to be constantly restoring their party's HP, but there's no need to overdo it. Healing spells do attract enemy aggression, which is something to avoid. With some experience, you'll learn to recognize when to heal and when to let a party member's HP restore naturally over time. When your party doesn't need immediate healing, focus on attacking. Healers are also important for DPS, as offense can be the best defense. Removing an enemy from the combat arena means there is one less source of damage for your party. If you feel comfortable with your kit after running Sastasha, then you're ready to move on. Otherwise, take your time and run the dungeon a few more times until you feel more confident. At level 18, you will learn Stone 2. This replaces Stone and is a more powerful version of it. There are no new mechanics to learn. Also at level 18, you will learn the healer role ability Swiftcast. Swiftcast is super important. When under the effect of Swiftcast, your next spell will be cast instantly, not requiring any cast time. A White Mage will most often save their Swiftcast to combo with Raise, allowing for instant resurrection of an incapacitated party member. This of course has obvious advantages that cannot be understated. At level 30, you can learn Cure 2 by completing the Conjurer class quest in Nature's Embrace. Cure 2, unlike Stone 2 however, is not a flat-out replacement for Cure, and you will continue to use both spells. Cure 2 heals more HP per cast, but it requires more mana and takes slightly longer to cast. We'll come back to both of these spells in a little bit. Once you've reached level 30 and completed the main scenario quest Self-Management, you can tackle the quest Seer of Folly to finally become a White Mage. Welcome, friend. Equip that soul crystal and show off your accomplishment. This also unlocks your next job action, Presence of Mind. Presence of Mind speeds up your attacks and spell casting for a short amount of time. Use this to accelerate your DPS or speed up any emergency healing. At level 32, you'll gain the job trait Free Cure. This trait gives you a chance for your next Cure 2 to be cast without consuming any mana after you first cast Cure. Cure, Free Cure, and Cure 2 are often debated among White Mages. Many players contend that once you have access to Cure 2, Cure becomes redundant, no longer justifying its casting time or global cooldown recast time. While it is true that Cure 2 should now become your primary single target heal, I believe the original Cure still has a place. Although less common and with diminishing returns as you continue to level up and rely on new spells, there are situations where Cure's shorter cast time and MP efficiency can be advantageous. In my opinion, Free Cure should be considered a lucky bonus instead of something you go fishing for, since its roll chance is quite low. If the reason you're casting Cure is because you're already low on mana, Free Cure can be a boon under that pressure. As you gain more experience with these spells, I encourage you to form your own opinions on their use. At level 35, you will be able to take your next job quest to unlock the Regen spell. Regen is the White Mage's first healing over time spell. Cast it on a party member and they will receive gradual healing for a short amount of time. It is a good idea to cast Regen on your party's tank as you enter each combat encounter, and while you remain in combat, you will generally want to continue to refresh its effect before it expires. Regen is now the most MP efficient single target healing spell in your kit, healing the most HP over the lifetime of its effect. Of course, the trade-off compared to Cure and Cure 2 is that HP is not restored in a single burst and instead needs to recover over time. At level 40, you can unlock Cure 3 through the next White Mage job quest. Unlike Cure 2, Cure 3 offers splash healing, trading off single target potency and mana efficiency. When you cast Cure 3 on a target, it heals the target and party members within range of that target. This differs from Medica's area of effect, and both have their specific situational uses. Cure 3 allows you to group heal from a distance, which is particularly useful when you're separated from your party. Also at level 40, you'll learn White Mage's Gap Closer, Ethereal Shift. This spell, which was added in patch 7.0 Dawn Trail, quickly dashes you forward a short distance, allowing you to get out of danger or into spellcasting range quickly. This extra mobility can make a significant difference during challenging boss fights. At level 44, White Mage will learn the healer role ability Surecast. Many players underestimate or forget about Surecast. Don't be one of those. Surecast is not flashy, but it can make a substantial difference in many combat trials. When under the effect of Surecast, your spells can be cast without interruption from enemy attacks. For instance, you can long cast Raise without the risk of getting the spell cancelled from a hit. Perhaps more importantly though, Surecast also prevents you from being thrown around the battlefield by most knockback or draw-in attacks. Not only does this give you a tactical advantage when used appropriately, but you'll also look super professional walking around the arena as you please while your teammates get tossed around like paper. At level 45, you'll learn Holy, White Mage's first AoE attack from another job quest. Prior to patch 7.1, Holy had quite a long cast time, but with the release of patch 7.1, this cast time has been shortened. Holy's attack radiates outward from your position. In addition to causing AoE damage, Holy can briefly stun enemies for a very short amount of time. This stun can affect each enemy up to 3 times, after which they become immune to it. This stun effect is very important. When enemies are stunned, they cannot attack your tank or the party, giving your team a brief respite from taking damage. Because Holy Stun only works up to 3 times, I often like to weave other spells in between bursts of Holy. Other players may instead prefer to spam Holy outright at the beginning of an encounter. With some experience, you'll find a rhythm and pattern that works best for you and your party. At level 46, Arrow will be replaced with Arrow 2. There isn't much more to say about this other than Arrow 2 is a more powerful version of the Arrow spell you will already be familiar with at this point. At level 48, you will learn the last hero role ability, Rescue. When used properly, Rescue can be a literal lifesaver, allowing you to pull a party member out of danger towards your current location. However, overly enthusiastic use of the spell can be confusing or even annoying to the player you may be trying to help. In my opinion, Rescue is best used when playing through content you are already familiar with, allowing you to better read the room and really realize when your teammate could use a helping hand. At level 50, you will learn White Mage's second AoE healing spell, Medica 2. Similar to the Cure spells, Medica 2 complements Medica. It has a larger effect radius and costs a bit more MP to cast. Its initial burst healing potency is less than Medica's, but it provides a regen effect to each affected party member, which stacks with a single target regen spell. Medica 2 should now become your staple group healing spell. However, the original Medica does not become obsolete and it still delivers more burst healing. You'll just use it less often than Medica 2. For instance, after using Medica 2, your party will have a fresh regen effect. If their HP is still dangerously low, you can follow up with Medica for an extra burst of healing. Also at level 50, you'll acquire the most powerful single target healing spell in the game, Benediction, by completing White Mage's next job quest. Benediction is an off-global action that instantly restores a party member to full health with no MP cost, but it has a long recast time. Benediction's best uses are to restore a recently resurrected party member to full health, or as an emergency save for you or another party member. At level 52, you will earn the Secret of the Lily passive trait from your next job quest, unlocking the Lily Gauge, which tracks White Mage's second resource pool. A White Mage can store up to 3 Lily charges, which regenerate automatically over time while in combat. They do not regenerate outside of combat. Also at level 52, you will learn your first Lily charged ability, Afflatus Solus. Afflatus Solus is a single target heal with the same range and healing potency as Cure 2, but it is cast instantly, making it superior to Cure 2. So if Afflatus Solus is better than Cure 2, why continue to use Cure 2? The reason is that White Mage has 2 resource pools to draw from and both recharge over time. MP is more versatile as it powers most of your spells, while Lilies are used just for 2 spells and you can only hold 3 at a time. The key is to find a balance between using spells from both resource pools. If you have plenty of mana and time to cast Cure 2, use it. If you need to heal immediately or your Lily charges are near the maximum, use Afflatus Solus. Experience will help you develop a feel for when to use each spell. From the same job quest that unlocked the Lily Gauge, you will also learn Asylum, White Mage's persistent healing AoE or healing bubble. Asylum is placed on the ground via ground targeting, creating a zone that heals allies within it for a moderate amount of time. Asylum does not require mana to cast and instead uses its own cooldown. Asylum is best used when the party will be holding ground for a while, such as a boss fight or when stopping to deal with a critical mass of dungeon pulls. At level 54, Stone 2 will be upgraded to Stone 3. The mechanics remain the same with improved damage potency at the cost of using additional mana. At level 56, you will learn Assize, White Mage's second AoE and the only one that combines healing with an attack. Assize is an off-global instant cast that is excellent for weaving between other spellcasts or for when you are moving on the battlefield. Assize's main use is to attack, and it will do notable damage to all enemies within range of your position. As a bonus, it heals some HP for nearby party members and also gives you a small mana recovery as well. All of this comes at no mana cost, so use it and use it often. At level 58, you will learn Thin Air, an instant cast off-global ability that allows you to cast your next spell without any mana cost. This is especially useful when comboed with Raise, which has a high MP cost. Thin Air can help ensure your MP doesn't drop too low, and it also allows you to cast Raise immediately after your own resurrection while waiting for your MP to regenerate. Thin Air is another ability that can be often overlooked by newer White Mages. Be sure to practice incorporating it into your rotation to build muscle memory. At level 60, you will learn Tetragrammaton, a highly useful single-target healing spell. Tetragrammaton heals for slightly less than Afflatus Solus or Cure 2, but is an off-global instant cast spell that requires no resources. This makes it an excellent no-delay emergency burst heal, which you can quickly weave between other spellcasts similar to Benediction. Tetragrammaton's recast time is significantly shorter than Benediction's, so you'll use it more often. At level 64, Stone 3 will be upgraded to Stone 4. As before, the mechanics remain the same, but Stone 4 hits harder at the cost of more mana. At level 66, you will learn Divine Benison, which is White Mage's primary single-target shield spell. When cast on a party member, Divine Benison's shield absorbs incoming damage up to a maximum, preventing HP loss for the duration of the effect. You can see the remaining shield amount by the length of the yellow bar on the party list. Divine Benison can be used on any party member, including yourself, though a primary use will be to protect your tank during battle. A great time to use Divine Benison is when your tank is targeted by Tank Buster, which is a powerful attack that deals significant damage. Practice using this skill during dungeon runs and boss trials to get the timing right. At level 70, you will learn Plenary Indulgence from White Mage's next job quest. Plenary Indulgence is an instantly cast off-global group buff that grants the Confession effect to affected party members. Under the effect of Confession, a party member will receive extra healing from White Mage's Medica spells, Cure 3, and Afflatus Rapture, which you will learn in a few more levels. Plenary Indulgence helps to quickly heal the party after taking raid-wide damage. Like White Mage's other self-buffs, it can be easy to forget to use, so I recommend practicing with it intentionally until it becomes second nature. At level 72, you will gain the passive traits Arrow Mastery 2 and Stone Mastery 4. These traits upgrade Arrow 2 to Dia and Stone 4 to Glare. As with previous upgrade traits, Dia and Glare's mechanics are the same as the spells they replace, but deal more damage. At level 74, the White Mage reaches a milestone by learning the passive trait Transcendent Afflatus and the active skill Afflatus Misery. This unlocks the Blood Lily on the Lily gauge, which charges the Afflatus Misery skill. The Blood Lily becomes fully charged after using 3 separate Lily charges from casting other Afflatus healing spells. Once the Blood Lily is ready, you'll be able to cast Afflatus Misery and instantly cast an attack spell that deals massive damage. Afflatus Misery sounds like shattering glass, making it instantly recognizable on the battlefield. At this point, optimizing your balance between mana and Lily consumption is crucial. Burning through your Lily charges helps recharge the Blood Lily faster. Generally, avoid keeping your Lilies at max charge for too long to ensure continuous Lily recharging. You want to be sure to reserve some charges for those emergency heals, but also the faster you burn through them, the more often you can use Afflatus Misery. At level 76, you will finally learn Afflatus Rapture. This is a powerful burst healing AoE that is cast instantly. Afflatus Rapture has the burst healing potency of Medica with the range of Medica 2. Similar to Afflatus Solus versus Cure 2, Afflatus Rapture uses Lilies as charges, which are more limited and less flexible than mana. At this stage, you now have access to 4 group healing spells, each excelling in different areas but none being the ultimate group heal. For example, Cure 3 boasts the highest healing potency but has the smallest area of effect radius and the highest MP cost. Among these spells, you will likely use Medica 2 and Afflatus Rapture the most frequently. However, remember that each spell has its own strengths. With practice, you will learn to recognize the situational uses for each spell in battle and perform optimally. At level 78, you'll acquire the passive trait Enhanced Asylum, which boosts healing received by party members within Asylum's area of effect by additional 10% from any healing actions. Party members must be within the area to receive this benefit. For healing over time spells like Regen, the effect continues even if the party members move outside of the Asylum zone. However, if a party member already has a Regen effect and then moves into the zone, the healing is not retroactively increased. At level 80, you'll learn Temperance, a self buff that provides two major effects. First, it increases your healing spell potency, making your heals stronger. It also reduces damage taken by you and other party members that are within a generous range. Use Temperance when you and your party are about to or are currently taking significant raid-wide damage. It mitigates damage while boosting your recovery efforts. At level 82, Glare and Holy will be upgraded to Glare 3 and Holy 3 respectively. These again retain the familiar mechanics you will already be used to. At level 85, you'll gain the passive trait Enhanced Healing Magic. This trait doesn't introduce any new mechanics. Instead, it boosts the potency of your core healing abilities, making them even more powerful. At level 86, you will learn Aqua Veil, a single target buff that reduces damage taken by your target for a short time. Aqua Veil can stack with Divine Benison, providing extra defense for a chosen party member, typically your tank or yourself. At level 88, you will learn the passive trait Enhanced Divine Benison, which allows you to store up to 2 charges of Divine Benison. This enables shielding 2 party members simultaneously, which is especially useful during boss trials with 2 tanks that are targeted by tank busters. At level 90, you will learn Liturgy of the Bell, White Mage's second ground target ability. Liturgy of the Bell can be confusing, and understanding its effects is essential. When cast, you will place a Healing Lily on the battlefield and receive 5 stacks of Liturgy of the Bell. When you then take damage, it will consume 1 stack and heal party members within range of the lily. If Liturgy of the Bell expires before all stacks are consumed, remaining stacks provide 1 final healing effect. You can choose to manually trigger this by using Liturgy of the Bell a second time before it expires. Note that this final healing effect is less potent than the damage triggered effect, so maximizing stack usage for damage trigger healing is ideal. In essence, Liturgy of the Bell acts as a damage counter, healing you and your party when you take damage. Use it just before raid-wide damage, especially if that damage hits multiple times. Liturgy of the Bell has an independent recharge timer like Asylum, so I like to alternate between these 2 spells during battles for continuous passive wide area healing. At level 92, you will unlock Glare 4 from the passive trait Enhanced Presence of Mind. This trait grants you 3 stacks of Sacred Sight after using Presence of Mind, which serve as charges for Glare 4. Glare 4 is a powerful single target attack that also deals splash damage to nearby enemies. It consumes 1 charge of Sacred Sight per cast, allowing you to use it up to 3 times per Presence of Mind activation. Glare 4 is cast instantly, and I like to use it between Glare 3 or Holy 3. Since it is cast instantly, it can also be used while moving, so I often like to save a charge for when I'm repositioning on the battlefield. You don't need to use all of its charges concurrently, just be sure to use all 3 before the effect expires. At level 94, you'll unlock the White Magic Mastery and Enhanced Swiftcast traits. White Magic Mastery increases the potency of your single target attack spells, making them more powerful, and Enhanced Swiftcast reduces Swiftcast recast time, allowing you to use it more often. At level 96, you'll earn another passive trait, Medica Mastery, upgrading Medica 2 to Medica 3. Like previous upgrades, Medica 3 is a more powerful version of Medica 2 and retains the familiar mechanics. At level 98, you'll earn the next passive trait, Enhanced Tetragrammaton, which will allow you to store up to 2 charges of Tetragrammaton. This is excellent as it allows you to use Tetragrammaton more often while still keeping an extra charge at the ready for instant emergency healing. At this point, Tetragrammaton and Afflatus Solus will be your go-to single target healing spells, but remember that Cure 2 is still there to help balance out your resource consumption. At level 100, you'll gain the passive trait Enhanced Temperance, unlocking the Divine Caress ability. When you use Temperance, you will also receive the Divine Grace effect, enabling you to cast Divine Caress. Divine Caress creates a barrier around you and nearby party members, absorbing incoming damage for a short time. Once the barrier is depleted or expires, you and your party members gain the Divine Aura effect, providing regenerative healing over a moderate period. This regen effect can stack with those from Regen and Medica 3. Similar to Liturgy of the Bell, Divine Caress is best used just before a significant hit, especially for party stack mechanics. The barrier absorbs some of the damage taken, and the regenerative after effect helps restore lost health. The final healer action to discuss is Limit Break. Each level of Limit Break restores HP to the party, with higher levels providing greater healing. There are always exceptions, but generally, healers don't use Limit Break at levels 1 and 2, instead saving them for the party's DPS. However, this can change at Limit Break level 3, which restores the entire party to full health, including incapacitated members. This powerful ability can turn the tide of a tough battle and should not be overlooked. As you progress into more challenging raids, keep this game-changing ability in mind for those crucial moments. Congratulations, Master Healer! You have now mastered the full array of White Mage abilities up to level 100. Well done on this incredible achievement. I hope this guide has enriched your understanding of White Mage's mechanics and set you on the path to becoming your party's favorite healer. Happy healing, and like always, keep adventuring and take care.